Welcome back to another episode of Grizzly Books True Crime. My name is Gisela K, and today we're going to be looking at Kylen Schulte's TikTok account, which was from around last year. I think there's some posts from this year as well. We'll have a look at it. Thank you so much to Grizzly OG subscriber Axel for sending me this. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm here with you now. I'll probably have to put the sound off though, because YouTube will ping if they hear the songs on these, on this, right? So 138 following, volge ich, 308 followers. So following 138 people, 308 followers, 691 likes, 23 aesthetics, blessings, good vibes. Okay, BP locks. I think it's all in German or Dutch. It's in German at the moment. Okay, so let's scroll down. Bath bombs. Okay, I put the sound off. Wait, and now it's not even showing right. Do it like this. So I've had to put the sound off, otherwise YouTube will not like the songs, okay? Because it'll ping. It's like, oh, copyright. Sis, you're playing a song, you know? So, okay, fizzy bombs. This was, when was this shared? Okay, the 23rd of December, 2018. This one is from the 23rd of December as well, 2018. This is my first aesthetic. Let me know if you like it. For you, aesthetic sage salt lamp. I love salt lamps. I have one in my bedroom. I love salt lamps so much. Okay, sage is happening. This says my highlighter is all over my phone now. Lol. It says makeup, make it snow. Oh, that's so cool. I like that effect. I know what you're doing there. This says find the magic in your soul. Incense for your page, soul, suncatcher. I do love incense too. I do. I especially like, what's that flavor? Or scent? Wait. It'll come to me. Patchouli. Oh my word. Patchouli incense. I love it. It's not very smooth, but I like it. Okay. It says aesthetic sage Bible for you. Listen. This one says cute little honey aesthetic. I love this video idea. That's cute. What's going on here? I know it's turned but okay. It says FMC aesthetic part 1 for you and my fans. Fresh Moab coffee. Wow. That was from the 28th of the 1st, 2019. FMC, Fresh Moab Coffee. I gotta look at Maptime how close that was to the Moonflower one, right? Or is it in it? Sorry about the TikTok watermark. Coffee shop bike fiend for you. That looks so nice. You know I'm going to look on the map where Fresh Moab Coffee's from. That looks so cool. Moving sand picture aesthetic. Find peace in the circle. I'm sorry, but this is bringing back so many memories for me. All this, I'm like, I used to love this moving sand stuff. Oh my word. Triggering some memories. Luckily not negative ones, positive ones, but I used to love this. I could watch it for hours. My new scrunchies. I do love scrunchies. I think I love everything that Kylen loves. Here, I've got it here. Scrunchie time. Oh, sorry for bumping that. Scrunchie time, and yes, my wrist is still my wrist is still carved up from the cat. It's all good. French vanilla coconut aesthetic match scent for you. Okay. Wow. My friend in the background at the Peace Park. Ooh, that must sound so nice. Oh, it's original sound, so I can play it. No, it isn't original sound. Sis, I can't play that. Otherwise, it'd be like, oh, I hope YouTube is not like, what? You played a bit of a song there. But I love that song. Oh, my word. Oh, Moonlight. Turn your phone. So cool. Just trying to get a sense of where exactly this was. Castles, rotate your phone for your page. Does this sound remind you of summer? Shh, I won't play that song. Scrunchy time. Moonflower. Aesthetic workflow, beautiful. Shame. This was from the 21st of February 2019. She really loved working there. She worked there for 4 years. I like that quote on her bottle. It said, grow through what you go through. That was so cool. It says free box. Oh my word. Imagine that. A free box. Just like anyone can collect things there if they need to. That is such a great idea. Good vibes. You're my best friend. They say best friend aesthetic for you. Winter vibes. This is saving for a dream. 50 fans and I'll post my van. Van money. That was on the 1st of March 2019. Oh, and she made it happen. She actually made it happen. She said, I got a lot of stairs, lol. This is Swanny. Swanny, she said hashtag Swanny in here, and Swanny Park is where her dad set up the clue booth for days and days and days and weeks on end, hoping that someone would come with some clues, some tip-offs, because her murder remains unsolved. My shades are actually yellow. Aesthetic shades dreads for you. Good vibes, sunny days. This was on the 2nd of March 2019. She said, I'm posting this at 12:23 p.m. Can you tell I've worn them already? Birkenstocks. This is what kind of did I plant? Is that a flower symbol? What kind of did I plant? I'll shout out whoever guesses right. It's a shame. There were no comments on her post. So comment below if you know what plant this is. Or go there to BP Locks and put a comment there. I don't know. I just feel bad. She seemed like a really nice person. A sensitive soul. Someone connected with nature. Who just wanted to live her life. She had every right to live her life. She was only married for 4 months. Someone murdered her and her wife. And for those of you that say you should call Crystal her husband, no. Kylen literally calls her wife in multiple posts. So that looks so good, by the way. This, what do you guys call this? I can't remember what it's called, but it's so nice. It's like a slush puppy. I get it, but it looks more. And I remember that like type of texture and the taste of it is like sherbety in a way. Wow. She said you don't even have to try. This was on the 17th of March 2019. Wow. This one was on the 24th of March 2019 saying 50 fans, thank you. Very grateful person. Kind. Nature lover. Ah, in the van. She said van life, living a dream. She said peachy. This was on the 12th of April 2019. This says my day today. Got some ginger. Oh my word, waffles. So, oh, those, I like those. Those are like health shots. Some of my wife's photos. This was on the 11th of Feb 2020. She said, some of my wife's photos, which one is the best? They're so nice. But she was obviously saying wife when they were maybe engaged or not yet married, because this was on the 11th of Feb 2020. And they only were married for 4 months before they were murdered. So they weren't married yet, but you know how it goes. Say my wife or my husband over here. Wow. Well, yes, that's it. That's all there is there. So if I go here, Kylen Schulte, she was found on August 13th to April, May, June, July, August. They got married in April. From what I remember, April 20th, right? 2021. But on that post on TikTok, she was saying some of my wife's photos in Feb of 2020. So maybe they already eloped or something. We don't know. Wow. So that is Kylen Schulte's TikTok account. If you want to help out her dad, let's just go here. Kylen Schulte, GoFundMe. It's Sean Paul Schulte. 1, reach out to him because I'm here. I can't just pick up the phone. And please tell him the invitation still stands to be on this show to tell his daughter's story. The more we keep the squeaky wheel squeaking, the better, right? But if you want to help out, just go to Kylen Schulte GoFundMe. This one. And you can donate here so that Sean Paul Schulte can get some support for his independent investigations. Okay. So there it is. I'll put the link in the description box below. Kylen Schulte homicide expenses. And they say we have reinstated receiving donations as we learn more about this horrific crime. It is apparent that the costs that Kylen's dad will incur are not going to stop anytime soon. The details of this heinous and horrific act have resulted in more time needed in Moab, more travel costs, more lost wages, and more support needed. Sean Paul Schulte has been the beneficiary of this fund and is currently the boots on the ground for Kylen and Crystal in the fight for justice. We thank you for your ongoing support, love, and prayers. So they've got $46,250 raised out of a $50,000 goal. So if you want to go there and donate, even if it's $1 or $5 or, you know, some people do $500 or look, there's $50 here. Let's say see all. There's $100. Okay. Good job, guys. Good job. So if you want to go and do that, that would be amazing to help him as well. If you're asking, have I done that? Yes. I did that a few weeks ago. I think it was like 2 weeks ago. So this one, oh my word, like there's just no answers. And we got to keep the squeaky wheel squeaking. So I'm staying on the case because I can't deal. Unsolved, just murder, just like, okay, unsolved murder. They were in their camper. They were camping. And they were found, as in they being Kylen and her wife Crystal, found shot to death and shoved in a creek that was only 2 foot wide. Okay, and it's just, there was a wedding party happening very close by. And just no one knows anything. That's just crazy to me. So this case, the support, I would love for the Grizzlies to show support over there, and I do my best to also, right? And then we've got Jelani Day's case that we're looking at as well, Justice for Jelani Day. Daniel Robinson, if you could go donate to the Daniel Robinson GoFundMe as well, that would help so much. His dad is living out of a hotel, and people are supporting him. It sounds like a hotel, like why? But it's actually, you know, that was the best option for him, uprooting his whole life and living out of a hotel in Arizona, going out every day looking for his son in the desert, and every Saturday looking with volunteers. So yeah, you can have long stays at certain hotels that are like more corporate hotels, you know, where you can just stay there. But he's looking for more permanent accommodation at this point there, because he's still searching for his son. So if you could assist him in the GoFundMe as well, that keeps him going. And then, of course, the Gabby Petito Foundation. As I say, thank you so much to everyone who helped me to raise $2,000 that we donated now for the Gabby Petito Foundation. And it's ongoing for the Let It Be range of the merch and the Melon Boy merch. If you buy anything from that range, those funds will be designated to the Gabby Petito Foundation, which helps to find other missing people. So before I forget, I know you're going to say, what about the fresh made coffee in Moab, right? Fresh coffee. Wasn't it fresh made coffee in Moab? Wait. Coffee shops in Moab. Moab Coffee Roasters. Moab Garage. It was definitely here on her TikTok. Fresh made coffee in Moab. This one. Fresh Moab coffee. Okay, okay. Wait. Fresh Moab coffee. And now, don't take me from my location. You want to see what Maptime does? Let's do Maptime for a second before I say goodbye. Okay, when I type in Fresh Moab coffee, the first thing it does is tell me how to get there from the Netherlands. And I'm like, yeah, no thanks. That's just a little bit far. Even though I wish I could actually be there. I wish I was right now in Florida and that I could retrace the steps just of this whole case. Wish I was in Florida. I wish I was in Wyoming and could just do what Brian Anthony's doing. I think it's ultra cool to walk around there and ask questions, right? But let's go from here. Hello, could you maybe just Moonflower? There. How far is that? And I'm thinking if Kylen loved this shop so much, based on one TikTok post, but she seems to really like it. Okay, and the Moonflower Co-op is here. Right, okay, and then this is where the Fresh Moab coffee was, and Brian said that him and Gabby were hanging out in a coffee shop from 9 till 3. And that Kylen was allegedly she only worked there until 12:30 or 2:30. I've seen different reports, but they say, nah, her shift ended before Brian and Gabby got to the store to literally buy melons. The melons are in the back of the van. For real. They had a melon special there that day. For real. Anyway. I'll show you if you haven't seen it. I'll show you. But if this is if Brian and Gabby were hanging out here, and this is one of Kylen's favorite coffee shops, this just adds another layer of maybe Kylen walked into that shop there, maybe saw them fighting, maybe said, "Are you okay?" to Gabby or something, and Brian didn't like that. Maybe he thought that's one of the witnesses, right? Wow. And I mean, if you really want to see how close this is, Bowen Motel, look. That's what we're talking about. Fresh Moab coffee, Moonflower Co-op, Bowen Motel, where Brian was checked into on the 12th and 13th. Right. So even if Brian stayed there like a good boy on the 12th, if he walked back to that coffee shop, or if him and Gabby went to meet up here again the next day, if they stayed separated for that night, if they met up back here and Kylen was there by chance before they were last seen alive on the 13th, right? So he stayed there on the 12th. I know I'm speculating again, but I am speculating now. So if he stayed there on the 12th by himself, let's say, and met up with Gabby again the next day, they say, let's meet at this place in the next morning. Although I just feel like they would have met up immediately. I don't know if they would have actually stayed apart. Because Gabby was extremely anxious about being separated from him, and probably the consequences of that based on possible DV, right? So if he stayed there on the 12th though, or if they both stayed in the van, or they both stayed there, wherever they stayed, we don't know. But then the next day went back to this favorite coffee shop so that maybe she could do some more of the website stuff. And if Kylen saw them there. You see, this is what I'm going to say. Wait. Oh my word. It's just like hitting me. Remember when we say the Kylen said, oh my word, there's like a creepy dude camping way too close to us. Okay, there was no sign of Gabby. She didn't report on that. But if here Brian even had sight of Kylen and even left Gabby at the motel and even realized that Kylen worked at the Moonflower Co-op, said to Gabby, you stay there on the 13th, I'll be right back. We don't know. We don't know. How do we know? The point is, it's actually very plausible to think that if Kylen walked into this coffee shop speculatively, pure speculation, on the 13th to grab some coffee, before going camping that night, they went to Woody's Tavern, Kylen and Crystal, that evening, which is also super close. You want to see where that is? There's Woody's Tavern. So let's do it like that. Wait, let's put it in a good order. There we go. Woody's Tavern is so close as well. Look how close all this all is. So if Kylen and Crystal went to Woody's Tavern on the 13th, that's the last time they were seen alive, and they said to their friends, a couple, that they went to the house until just past midnight. There's a really creepy dude that's camping like way too close to us. That was on the night of the 12th. Yes, it was. Which brings me back to, if Brian suspected, if he saw Kylen at the coffee shop even on the 12th, and then decided he's going to go drive to where they were camping because they went to set up camp. We don't know. He could have taken the van and could have set up camp, speculatively. And Gabby could have stayed at the motel. There's an interesting question for people living in Moab to ask the Bowen Motel. Was it really Gabby that stayed there that night? And Brian took the van? I don't know. It's interesting. It's all just interesting. I can go on and on and on about this. I know some of you like it when I think out loud. So here we go one more time. Brian and Gabby fought outside the Moonflower Co-op. 2 witnesses called 911, which is what initiated the police to follow them. Brian, never forget that he was driving 3 times the speed limit. So it's like people saying, no, but Gabby punched him or Gabby pulled the wheel. Yeah, but he was driving 3 times the speed and maybe she really wanted him to stop because the police were after them. And then he bumped the curb and all he said was he's very, very sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry to bump the curb and sorry if I was speeding. That's all he was really sorry about. The point is, that happened on the 12th. And then we saw the body cam footage. On the 12th, they were hanging out at a coffee shop. Very likely the Fresh Moab coffee one. And then went to Moonflower Co-op to get some supplies, which included melons because it was in the back of the van. On the 12th, allegedly didn't cross paths with Kylen, but could have crossed paths with Kylen already at the coffee shop. That's what I'm saying. So if he then figured out we crossed paths with her there, and maybe they were already fighting there. We don't have any witnesses saying they were fighting already there. They probably were. So if Kylen saw them fighting there, and then Brian figured out, wait, Kylen works at the Moonflower Co-op, so she's definitely, in his mind, she's definitely the person who reported us. She's one of the witnesses. That would make him very angry speculatively. So then, because of the body cam thing, we saw that go down, he was booked into the Bowen Motel on the 12th and 13th. Gabby was freaking out. So the cops they said, we would like you to stay separated, but there's nothing really they could do. It wasn't actually, from my understanding, and from many of your understanding, they weren't actually going to do the court date thing that they discussed and all that. Am I right? It was more like just stay apart, for the night. If we hear from you again, then this and this. Point is, my gut instinct says they met up immediately. So if Gabby stayed at that hotel, if Brian and Gabby fought even there or even anywhere close, and he was like, I know who reported this, I know, and maybe he would be really angry. And the next day, let's say on the 13th, we need to know what Gabby was doing on the 13th, because it would be very interesting if she went back to that coffee shop back with a laptop to finish her website, which she was working on. Right? She was still working on it on the 21st when she stayed in that Fairfield Inn and Suites because she phoned her dad for help with the website. But if Brian was already on a rampage then thinking, I'm going to get revenge because we saw this woman, Kylen, there and there. It's her for sure. She saw us fighting there and there, so she called 911. Maybe he even thought the two witnesses were Kylen and Crystal. Well, if he left Gabby at the coffee shop and speculatively at the motel to stay comfortably, and he took the van and he said, you just stay there, whatever, right? And then followed them to their campsite, maybe even camped. I mean, he had a van. They didn't really describe how the creepy man was camping too close to them. But see, Kylen might not have... She said, whoa, there's a really creepy man camping way too close to us. Okay. But we all said it wouldn't be Brian because she would have put two and two together. But she wouldn't have if Brian is projecting that he knows that she works there and there, so therefore it's her. He deduced in his own mind in this speculation that it's her that reported them, that it's her and her wife, speculatively. Then, let's say he went to follow them to their campsite, camped way too close, as they say, and then camped there on the 12th, and then on the 13th they went to world-famous Woody's Tavern. Maybe he was still out there. Maybe he still stayed there, because they told their friends, whoa, there's a creepy guy camping way too close to us. So if we end up murdered, it's because of him. That's what they said. Which is very sad, in hindsight, to think about that. They went back to camp, okay? If they went back to camp on the 13th and he was still there, determined to do what he wanted to do, to take out people who affected his ego, speculatively, then that's very plausible. Wow. And it hailed and it rained for like 5 days after that, so there's no tire tracks or things like that. I'm going to still go there. I still think it's linked. I think it could be linked. Let's say that. I think it could still be very much linked. I still think it's plausible. The private investigator in Kylen's case, Kylen and Crystal's case, said it's not likely because there was no sign of Gabby. However, they had a night. Two nights were booked for them. Well, not for them, but for Brian in the Bowen Motel, 12th and 13th. Gabby could have stayed there comfortably. No problems. And maybe, of course, Brian is manipulative. He could have told the hotel staff, or I don't even think they would have monitored, but just, she's going to stay here and I'm going to go. Please don't tell the police because I want her to be comfortable because she's got anxiety or something like that. It's very plausible. This speculation is very plausible that he then went with a van, drove there, camped out for 2 nights, 12th and 13th, did what he needed to do to get rid of people who wronged him in this speculation. Left. Met up back with Gabby. That would be on the 14th. Now, we don't know what they did on the 14th, 15th, and 16th. But allegedly, when someone hacked his accounts, he allegedly bought tickets home on the 13th, sometime on the 13th. So that's also interesting. Because it would actually be on the 14th that Kylen and Crystal would have been murdered, date-wise, because they were at their friend's house, a couple, just beyond midnight, and then went back to camp. Anywho, I think Brian was a whole different kind of dude at night. It's like a werewolf, you know? Like, just a whole different side of him may have come out at night. Like, it's actually scary to think about it. Because even thinking of how Gabby died out there plausibly at night, like 27th we all say that, but it's probably the 28th in the nighttime, you know, like beyond midnight. And my speculation is if he bought the tickets right on the 14th, let's say, like, I got to get out of here, and she's like, what the hell, and staying there at the Fairfield Inn and Suites while he's going home, telling her an excuse of why he needs to go home, and telling his parents an excuse of why he is home, that he needs to get something out of storage or needs to clear out the storage to get money. I think he lied to all of them. in this speculation that I'm doing today, that he lied to Gabby and that he lied to his parents. And when he returned, after who knows doing what, even speculatively chucking the gun that was found at Fort DeSoto, speculatively, even then, chucking the gun, then already, we don't know, I'm speculating. I don't do this often on this channel. I think these thoughts to myself, but here, some of you like it when I speculate, so it's for you. So, even if he returned home between the 17th and the 23rd, and went to Fort DeSoto, how do we know? He saw his sister, she said so. She FaceTimed Gabby, so it was chilled. No one knew there was something wrong. But I think that the minute he returned home, meaning he lied to everyone and probably hid from everyone that he was possibly, speculatively, getting rid of a gun. Think about it. But then when he returned back to Salt Lake City, to Utah, back with Gabby on the 23rd. They checked out on the 24th from the Fairfield Inn and Suites. And then we've got that whole timeline, right? Ogden, Butterfly Mural. And then on the 25th, she FaceTimes her mom. The mom said that she wasn't sure how the relationship was really going. Right? But then the fights start escalating again because they were seen fighting at the Mary Piglet's Tex-Mex restaurant. Okay. Where else were they seen fighting? They were seen at the Rustic Row. They were seen at the Victor Emporium, where he was pushing to tell people that she's engaged, that they're engaged. I'm going to speculate far and wide today. I feel like he's pushing to say we're engaged because it could be because why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense. Unless he's trying to cover up a murder and making sure that he's building alibis already from the 24th, 5th, 6th of August. Building alibis of, it can't be this guy that would shoot two gay women because they're engaged. What kind of beef does he have with them? Why else would he be pushing her? Tell them we're engaged. I mean, unless it's just really coercive control and narcissism, sure. But in this speculation, it makes sense to me that he was already building alibis. Then. And I think when it hit her, when the news broke, that Kylen and Crystal had been murdered. Moab murders. If that suddenly hit Gabby, that her fiancé, who reads serial killer books, obviously talks about serial killer stuff, murder stuff. I know she also listened to a true crime podcast and said she's obsessed. But they did talk about true crime as a couple. They read the books out loud together, right? That's what they said on their posts. If she then realized, oh my word, you've taken it too far, you've brought this into reality, you've actually done this, you've actually killed people? And if she then said, like, he's stupid, or what were you thinking, or what kind of idiot are you, or anything like that, on top of his already very bruised, fragile ego, that would cause him to take her out too. Because at that point, it's all out of control for him. All out of control. Like, oh my word, he's tried to be like, we're engaged, and like cover up, fly home, build an alibi with his parents, build a story with his parents. So he would have his mom and his dad and his sister and the nephews saying, yeah, no, he was here cleaning out a storage unit. And then he would have Gabby saying, yep, no, he went home for a bit to clear out a storage unit so that we can get money or whatever it was. Right? I think he was extremely deceptive to everyone. Right? Are you with me? And so realizing that Gabby saw him for what he was in the speculation, a killer. I think she would have had a lot to say about that speculatively and been like, what were you thinking? It might not even have been them, you know? And then he decided to take her out too. But then that's why, to me, it makes sense then that his little alibi pattern continued. That he's like, oh my word, okay, hike along Snake River, go to the Coulter Bay Village. he arrived there pretty clean though. So my theory is still that actually, one of my theories is that him and Gabby drove to Colter Bay Village and showered there, and that they had a fight there, and she left him behind. That's one of my theories. And that he then offered to pay $200. Just, I need to get back to camp. Oh, where you going, Jackson? Where you going? You know what I mean? I don't know. That he was just desperately trying to get back to camp. And if he did, let's say she drove, she parked the van speculatively, parked it, and went back to camp. If he then was angry, if she left him, because I've had big fights with boyfriends before where we do this thing of being like, find your own way. You drive off, you know? Ooh, and when they find their way back to you, they're angry. Obviously. Right? So if that happened, because the hitchhikers, the people that gave him a ride said he was like clean, his backpack was half empty, like what the hell? It didn't look like he was camping along Snake River for all that time, 2 or 3 days or a few days. I think even him saying that, oh, my fiance's back at camp, she's working on social media or the website or whatever, it goes along with this little coffee shop theory. He just continued with that narrative, building alibis from already the 12th, let's say, in his mind, building a whole story in case. And so, in case he kills people and actually is revealed and exposed as one. Wow, dude. So the point is, if they went, theory 1, to shower at Colter Bay Village, had a fight there, and she left him, because they were already fighting a lot that day, left him, parked the van, went across the creek herself before sunset maybe, and went back to camp. If he then hitchhiked back, which he wouldn't maybe have calculated that he'd get back that fast, if he hitchhiked back, ran across that creek at night, and went there and strangled her, that makes sense to me. If, though, they were at camp, they parked the van and were at camp, and there the fight broke out, because on the 27th, they were at the Mary Pickler's Tex-Mex restaurant fighting, right? Apparently now the restaurant said, they weren't fighting, but like, according to the witnesses, they were, so okay. There was tension though, right? We agree with that. And so, if then, on the 27th already, they camped across the creek, and let's say, speculatively, he strangled her there, and then hiked to Colter Bay Village, which wouldn't take that long. It's possible for him to do, and he is like a freaking night dude, isn't it? He's like a zombie at night, probably walking around there. So if he went there to Colter Bay Village, had a shower first, came out, and they're like, oh hi, could I maybe have a ride? See, we don't know how he walked in there. How did he dawdle in there? Hitchhike 1, hitchhike 2, back to camp, tells the lady, please don't, just drop me off here at the entrance. He didn't want to be driven to where the van was. So his alibi thing ended when he got back to camp. She still said to him, what, are you trying to impress your fiance by walking back into camp or what? And he's like, okay, try to get out of a moving vehicle. See, he was building alibis all the way. So I still believe that if he was building alibis all the way, either he was that pissed off that he was going to say, just drop me off here, walk back in to the campsite, to the van, blaze it across that creek, and do what he wanted to do in a rage. Like find her and annihilate her, because maybe by then they were already fighting over what he had done to Kylen and Crystal, speculatively. Whew, that's starting to make a lot of sense to me. Wow, how long have I gone on? 45 minutes? It's making a lot of sense to me though, damn. And then to think that he did that. So this is the theory of him doing, let's say the theory is that he murdered her by strangulation after the Colter Bay Village thing, which means on the 29th, which means he hitchhiked back, went across that creek, strangled her, back to the van, headed home. That makes more sense to me. But if not, then sure, on the 27th, after the fight, they go to camp. They go camp across from the creek. He strangles her there. Hitchhikes, comes back to the van and goes home. Maybe that hitchhiking then was just for alibi building. You with me? But let's do the 29th theory. So they fight on the 27th, just one more time. They're fighting on the 27th. They go to Spread Creek. They park the van because the witnesses saw the van parked there. Even Red, White and Bethune saw the van there on the 27th at between 6 and 6:30. So they park the van there, go across the creek, camp there, make their own campsite. Right. And their stuff happens, and then he hikes back. Okay. Either way, it could work either way. Either it could be that they parked the van there for several days and it looked abandoned and all that people said, camped across the creek and he murdered her there and then hiked and then got the hitchhiking back and took the van. Or he parked the van, they camped across the creek. On the 29th, they took the van, went to Coulter Bay Village for a shower, and there they fought, and then she drove back, parked the van in the same place. That's a theory too. We've gone over all of them. But the point is that if he then got in the van on the 29th, to me it makes more sense that he strangled her on the 29th then, 29th, and ran across the creek in the middle of the night. Like, even packed up the tent, because there was no tent there, from what I believe is how they found her, with hiking shoes next to her. Allegedly only wearing her sweater. That's still to be released. I don't know that if that's true or not. But that's interesting because that matches Kylen and Crystal's way they were found. But okay. Hiking boots next to her. Looked like there was a campsite. There was a little fire, whatever. But he probably packed up that tent, put it back in the van, got in that van and headed home. Right? Plausible. And now when he got home, maybe he lawyered up, immediately saying, I need help because who knows what, he told his parents. But I just think he deceived them all. All of them. I don't know if they knew exactly what was going on between the 1st and the 11th quite, and with the camp trip and all that. I'm not 100% sure that the family knew what he was up to exactly. You never know what he told them. I just think he could be such a liar that he deceived them all. And then maybe it eventually came out that, like, oh my word, maybe he murdered 3 people or more. How do we know? Wow. Anyway, that's it for now. What else did I want to show you? Instagram. I wanted to show you just one more thing, which is Instagram. Wow, I just saw the Please Help Find Daniel Instagram, and it says, Focus on Petito case puts spotlight on missing minorities in the US. Okay, great. So got to keep that squeaky wheel squeaking. So I'm going to the Moonflower Cooperative. Can you see it? Moonflower Co-op. And this is what the page looks like. Sorry, I know it's a bit better. Moonflower, okay. So here we've got pumpkin squash going on. Shirt. Peaches. Cooking with scraps. Here's Kylen. Shame. The Moonflower family is heartbroken to share the news of the recent tragic passing of one of our dear employees, Kylen Schulte, as well as her wife, Crystal Beck. Crystal Beck. I've been saying Crystal Turner, but it's Crystal Beck. That's her name. That's on her obituary as well. Kylen worked at Moonflower as a cashier and amazing hat model for the last 4 years and was often the first friendly face many of our owners and patrons encountered as they walked in the door. Her genuine kindness, radiant energy, and tireless work ethic touched the lives of countless people and will be deeply missed by Moonflower and the Moab community. Our hearts go out to Kai's and Crystal's families and friends during this incredibly difficult time. If you feel inclined to donate to Kai's funeral expenses, the family has set up a GoFundMe at this link, which I also shared with you. It's in the description box below. We'll also set up a donation jar at the first register, which will contribute to the GoFundMe. Okay. So what I was showing you is literally this from August 12th. August 12th. Right there it is. August 12th. They said, oh, my bad. No, wait, I'm trying to move the screen here. On the 12th of August, the day that Brian and Gabby were there, they said, it's full-on melon season. We have those local Green River melons from Dunham Farms for all of your summer picnic or river fresh snacking needs. Moonflower Co-op, Moab, Utah, Mooney local produce, local melons, watermelon, honeydew, cantaloupe, Tuscan cantaloupe, Crenshaw, melon season, summer fruits, fruit salad, melon days. Okay. And the last, I know I keep saying the last thing I want to show you, but if we go to YouTube, wait, I wonder which body cam one that is. Body cam footage. I'm sorry, this is very hard to watch, right? I just want to see when the van is open. Like at what point is this van open? Oh, there it was opening it. Now the van's open. There. There's the melon. See? Okay, and it was so messy. Just look at it. Just going on here. It's so not how they normally had it, right? Well, obviously they made things on Instagram which looked aesthetic, but maybe it wasn't always like that. I get that, but like, damn, I think they were fighting because it's just in such disarray. But there's the melon I talked about. Told you there's the melon. So nervous. Sorry, we won't watch this whole thing. I'm just saying this dude is so nervous here. Like, so incredibly anxious that, I don't know, he's looking behind him the whole time. Look. I know there's no sound, by the way. Put the sound off for now. Damn, he's so nervous of people behind him. It is weird how he walks back here now. So if we, sorry, I must stop saying sorry. I know you guys like this. Okay, so if you don't like it, just click off, right? So playback speed, if we go here to half speed, I mean, have you seen how he walks here? Look at how he walks back here. Watch this, watch this. Watch the foot. It's so weird. It looks like he's injured or something. He doesn't walk properly here. Maybe it's just very flat-footed. We don't know. I want to do one more thing, which is here when they say, hey, how are you, and all this. I want to find, sorry. I'm trying to find where they go to his side of the car. I know some people have enhanced the footage, meaning it looks like he wasn't scratched before and then he may have scratched himself and then got out the car. That was interesting to see. But apparently some people enhanced the footage and he was a little scratched up before the time, so I'm not too sure. This is not the right angle. It might be on the other body cam footage. Maybe from the other one, right? Look at me carving it up, but carving up means working hard to me. That's what the saying means, and it's a sport expression. It's about snowboarding and sand duning. For those of you who are new on the channel, I want to go here. Man, where's that footage of him and his face, like in the car? I wish I could see that again. Oh, trying to find it. I know you've seen it. I know you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, his story made no sense here either. You see those scratches? I don't know. Let me know. Comment below if you think that his face looked scratched before in the car, and if you think that he's scratched himself, because it's very possible. I don't know where that is exactly now. Man, his hands are so big. Anyway, we've seen this enough, right? My goodness. Okay, so let's get out of the rabbit hole. Out of the rabbit hole. Let me just... Okay. Oh, my bad. I made that grizzly way too big there. Okay. So we're out of the rabbit hole for now. Goodness. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I know it was just about an hour of like all kinds of stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and help this video, you know, get its algorithm tickles. And if you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe, become an OG, an original Grizzly. It's a great community. I love all you guys. I love the way you think, you know, critical thinking, a lot of logic going on here. Armchair detectives, you guys are great. Thank you so much for your support, for sending me tip-offs and links and things like that. I really appreciate it. If you see something on the news, don't just send me the link, because that's just like, it's almost like spam at that point. You know what I mean? I just get spammed with like hundreds of links all the time. I do watch the news in all these cases. So the most meaningful thing you could send me is something with a subject line and an explanation of what you're sending and why. Like, why do you want me to look at this? You know what I mean? And then I'll take a look, because those stand out to me. If it's just a name and a link, I'm like, can't even manage it. So some of them even just go to the spam folder. So if you say like a subject and what you found and why you want me to look at it, that really helps a lot as well. And yes, I'm going to have to sort out something with my PO box. I'm not sure what to do at this point. I took it out for a year. It cost close to $400 for me to take out a PO box in the Netherlands for 1 year. It's very expensive here, and I have no idea why. And that's no problem. That's okay. However, what they're doing now is, because I live in the Netherlands and not America, all of you who are sending me packages, I have to pay for those packages to receive them. And it's not actually cheap. It's quite a lot. I mean, one of the parcels I just received is 33 euros, which is like almost $40, I would guess. It's like between, I can do this calculation quickly for you. 33 euros to US dollars. It's $38.3 just to receive a package. Now, I don't have that kind of money to pay a lot to receive packages, so I'm gonna have to think of something. I think the best thing that you could send me at this point is maybe Amazon gift cards. If you want to show me like support, or you want to get me gifts, or you want me to get like, you know, when I've said like toothpaste or toothbrush heads or leggings or things that I've mentioned specifically, especially to those of you who are members. If you want to give me something like that, which you guys are so kind, there's so many of you that are so kind, maybe the best thing to do, instead of a huge parcel, which also costs you a lot, it costs like $80 of postage, right? Between 50 and 80, depending on the weight of what you're sending. Maybe you could just send me an Amazon gift card. I know that my Amazon wish list is a little complicated too. I didn't know this at first, but like you have to log into Amazon.nl, Netherlands, in order to buy me anything from Amazon, to actually send it to my PO box or to my doorstep. So that's a little complicated. You know, right now I wish I was in the USA. Things would be a lot easier. But anyway, I do love the Netherlands and I love biking around here. It's a beautiful country. So I am here. It's just a little bit complex because I am South African living in the Netherlands. And damn, whoa, receiving packages, they are absolutely annihilating me with that. Of like every package that comes in is like, you're going to pay like $15, $20, $40 for whatever I receive. So maybe the best form of support would be to continue to, you know, use the buymeacoffee.com/Gisela K link and buy me coffees. I mean, you could buy me 100 if you want to. Some of you really want to show lots of support. So you're like, no, it's like, it's whatever it is, $3 a cup. I think you're like, I want to buy you more. Like if you just send your donations straight to PayPal, or, you know, buy me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/Gisela K. Or if you really want me to have physical things, you know, especially things that I've mentioned that I really need and want, the best thing would probably be to, send me PayPal or Amazon gift cards. And I mean, even if you were to buy Amazon gift cards, just be careful with those. I know sometimes internationally they don't work. I don't know how that all goes, but I think if you buy a digital Amazon gift card, that should work. So if you want to get me an Amazon gift card so that I can buy the item that I've said that I actually need, like electric toothbrush heads. I know that's a very weird request, but they're quite expensive here. And I know that you can get them like in bulk at Costco or whatever. That's pretty cool. But anyway, if I was able to get something like that on Amazon, or things for Fury or for Henna, maybe that's a better way to do it. Because this PO box thing, oh my word, I don't know what to do at this point. I'm like, I'll just keep it for now because I already paid so much to open it. So I'll have to. But at the moment, it's becoming, it's like a problem, but it's like a good problem to have, I guess, because I love receiving gifts so much. So thank you to everyone who sent me a parcel. In any case, I really, really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to go now. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.